It's time for my Week 5 picks for my Harvey hot end. So let's begin with the first pick of Week 5.
Jets at Vikings.
So this one I love actually a lot. It's a Sam Darnold revenge game, but I think the story of the Vikings is indeed the Brian Flores defense, because they have the second best rush defense, which does not help Aaron Rodgers, who's over 40 years old, who relies on Breece Hall and Braylon Allen to actually be relatively successful. He dinks and dunks to Allen Lazard. Garrett Wilson has been a no-show basically the entire season. But think about this, though. The Brian Flores defense, they are number one in blitzes, quarterback hurries, quarterback knockdowns, sacks, and pressures. They are pressuring every single quarterback they play. They go after it. They force you into mistakes. Meanwhile, Sam Darnold, what a comeback story his has been. He's number one in touchdowns right now. He's third in yards per attempt. He has the 10th most passing yards in the NFL currently, and he has the second best passer rating. I mean, he has done an incredible job. I do think he does get this revenge against the New York Jets. They come out with a big-time win here. This is in London. And home teams in London generally do very, very well. I'll take the Vikings to win 24-20 and also cover the minus 2.5 point spread. The next one.
Packers at Rams.
So this one has a lot to do with the Rams offense and how the Packers will exactly exploit it. The Packers lead the NFL in plays of 20-plus and 30-plus yards. Meanwhile, the Rams allow the third most plays of 20-plus yards and the most plays of 30-plus yards. It is a perfect blend of what the Rams suck at and what the Packers do great at, as well as the pass defense for the Rams. They are absolutely abysmal. They give up the most yards per attempt. They have the second highest touchdown rate allowed, and they also have the third highest completion percentage allowed. They can't stop anybody. The passing-wise, they are terrible. They're also 24th in pass rush win rate, and also they are last in explosive play rate allowed. They are giving up massive plays. The Packers rely on Jordan Love really to throw the ball very well. And think about this. A banged-up Jordan Love that was not 100% with his MCL injury came, and by the way, in the first half and through most of the game, did not look great against a Vikings defense that was blitzing the hell out of him. He came back and nearly won. The Vikings were on an absolute tear, and Jordan Love came this close to beating up that defense. I will take Jordan Love and the Packers to win 28-24, cover a minus 3 point spread.
Giants at Seahawks.
This one has a lot to do with just scheme. What do the Giants love to do? Target Malik Neighbors. Who won't be available for this game? Malik Neighbors. Also, if they try to run the ball, Devin Singletary's their guy. Not for Week 5. He'll be out in this game. Meanwhile, some of the Seahawks are coming back. It looks like they're getting relatively healthy on the defensive front, and that's going to be great against the Giants' offensive line that is really hit and miss. It's done an okay job, but I think against this defense also, with a couple defensive backs coming back for the Seattle Seahawks, also Geno Smith is on an absolute tear recently. The Giants' defense has to go up against JSN, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett. Meanwhile, Geno Smith is completing 72.3% of his passes. I mean, he's done a great job so far this season. The Giants rank 30th in rush defense. K9's coming back. Kenneth Walker is coming back from his injury. He should be perfectly fine. But Danny Dink and Dunk won't have his key player in Malik Neighbors, who's setting records for yards, for targets, for receptions, for touchdowns. First couple games as a rookie wide receiver. He'll have to feed Wan'Dale Robinson and Darius Slayton, as well as hopefully get Jalen Hyatt involved, if he even exists on the Giants roster anymore. It seems like he doesn't get involved whatsoever. This is going to be a difficult game for Daniel Jones, and the last time we saw Daniel Jones play this team, he got sacked, 10 times, had a 99-yard pick six for Devin Witherspoon. This is going to be a pretty brutal game for the New York Giants. I had the Seahawks winning 31-17 and covering a minus 6.5 point spread. The next one.
Cowboys at Steelers.
So this one's a risky one, I'll admit. And I think I've bet the Steelers on every single, or bet with them or against them in every single week so far. So it's kind of hit or miss for me. But I think when it comes down to it, the two top rushers for the Dallas Cowboys, Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, are going to be out for this game. So what happens then? Because you can't stop the run with them there. What's going to happen if they're already gone? The Cowboys will need others to step up, which so far it doesn't even matter because they are so bad regardless, even with their top guys out there. Also, Brandon Cooks is out, so it'll be highly reliant on CeeDee Lamb and probably Ferguson. So if the Pittsburgh Steelers can just play their form of defense, also with Tyler Guyton being a terrible left tackle so far, I think the the Pittsburgh Steelers defense will get to Dak Prescott, force him into mistakes. Dallas is still the 26th rush defense, even though they completely shut down anything the Giants tried to do. I think Najee Harris is better than Devin Singletary. I think he'll do great. I think there'll be option runs for Justin Fields. The running game will pick up, and even then, even if it doesn't, to the sake of efficiency-wise, Justin Fields still threw for 312 yards. It became the first Steeler to have 300-plus passing yards, 50-plus rushing yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns in the same game. Or at least, I think it's 2 rushing touchdowns in the same game. Setting Steelers records. And this is a guy who's still fighting for the starter job. Give him the job already. And I think this game will prove it with the win over the Dallas Cowboys. I say the Steelers win 23-20 and barely cover, but do indeed cover a minus 2.5 point spread. The last one, shockingly,
Saints at Chiefs.
I think this one's a little bit risky, but I'll take it. Right now, it looks like the Saints are just really unfortunate here. I think really this is an unfortunate season so far because they started out being extremely dominant. And right now, it looks like the past couple games, it's been relatively unfortunate. You had a strange game against the Philadelphia Eagles where the Eagles defense hit when it hasn't hit for a number of games now. Also, Jalen Hurts did not play very well, but you still ended up losing. Saquon Barkley really had the only scores of the game, and meanwhile, offensively, you can get nothing going whatsoever. Then the following week, you go up against the Atlanta Falcons, where Younghoe Koo hit a game-winning field goal against you. I think this time you're going to get it turned around. Alvin Kamara right now leads the league in scrimmage yards, and when it comes to the Chiefs, they're down already their number one receiver in Hollywood Brown, or I guess you can call him number one, number two, depending on what you think of him, but they're also down Rashee Rice. So they're down their top 2 receivers, and the passer rating for Rashee Rice is a little over 110. The next highest receiver, 82. And that's even with Mahomes throwing an interception basically every single game. Mahomes has been very uncharacteristic so far this season, as has Travis Kelce, but we got a hint of what Travis Kelce could be. But when it comes down to it, the Saints are 7-1 against the spread in the last 8 games as road underdogs, as well as when it comes to how the Saints have been playing, in points scored a game, they're number 1. In third down percentage offensively, they're second. And here's the big thing. In red zone percentage offensively, they're second. Defensively, they're number 1 in the NFL. So when teams get into the red zone, they don't allow you to score. In fact, they have a 22% rate in the red zone, number 1 in the NFL. So I do think this will be a close game. Chiefs do get the win, 30-26, but the Saints do cover. I think the Saints will figure out a way to keep the game close. They're, like I said, Saints are 7-1 against the spread in the past 8 games as road underdogs. I don't hate this pick at all. I think this is very interesting because Mahomes has not looked like the same Mahomes we've seen. They've been down more than a touchdown, at least a touchdown, in every single game so far this season. And the last time we saw last week, they were down 10-0 to the Chargers with no top-tier receiver, with a banged-up offensive line, and a defense that's been okay, that's been playing, depending on the matchup, obviously, been playing okay. Justin Herbert also was dealing with a high ankle sprain in that game, too, and you were down by 10 points. So I will take the Saints to cover. Chiefs win 30-26. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.